Have you ever felt like you're pulled in 100 different directions and you can't seem to focus, you can't seem to get things moving, and no matter how much you try, you just feel like you're losing sight of everything that matters? I have. And that is exactly why I am starting this podcast. Welcome to Refined Focus, where ambition and artistry and entrepreneurship and self-worth and self-value all come together. In this first episode, I just want to introduce myself, let you guys know who I am and what you can expect from this podcast, my story and how we got to where we are. So rather than just talk about it, let's get into it. So my name is Ben Marcum. I have been working for the past 12, 13 years as a professional photographer. I built my business specializing on professional headshots, and eventually that spun off into a fine art boudoir and fine art portrait photography business. And throughout these series of podcasts, we'll talk about that journey some because it may help some of you figure out your journey and where you want to go with your artistic business, or if it's not an artistic business, or if you're an artist who doesn't want to do business, but just to help you find your path. So how did I end up where I am and doing what I'm doing? So before becoming a photographer, I worked in professional theater for around 20 years as a sound engineer and sound designer. And that is really what I thought my career path was going to be. I started doing that when I was 15 years old, started getting paid, I should say, to do that when I was 15, and did that for many years. And I assumed I was going to retire from that business. Things changed. The industry changed. I was no longer happy, and that's no longer what I wanted to be doing. So I decided to leave the business that I loved and decided to do something else. And I ended up picking up a camera. There's reasons I ended up with a camera, but the short version of it is I took some photography class in high school, which was really more how to use a dark room. And I was like, well, how hard can this be? Come to find out, it's a whole lot harder than one thinks. And not only that, I didn't really have any idea how to run a business. So I had to figure all of that out on my way. Along the way, I found mentors. I found people who inspired me and made me believe that everything that I wanted to do was possible. And if I just kept working and kept my focus, I would be able to achieve success. And thankfully, I have. And I want to be able to do the same thing for you. And the path wasn't without challenges. There was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. There was seeing what other photographers were doing and assuming that that was the correct path to be successful. I have to do, I have to shoot weddings. I've got to do babies. I've got to do, and none of those were things that I wanted to do. And then also going, how do I price myself? How do I market myself? How do I grow this business? There was imposter syndrome. There is so much imposter syndrome. There were all of these challenges that as a solo artist, a solo entrepreneur, a solo that I had to figure out. And thankfully, I had help along the way. Another huge thing that helped along that path was starting to refine my focus. See what I did there? It was once I started making decisions and going, okay, I'm going to focus on being a headshot photographer, which was really my first step. That's when my business started to bloom. And going, I'm going to focus there. Then I was able to dial in. I was able to start finding my right customers. I started to book more. I started to perfect my craft because I wasn't trying to do everything, be a jack of all trade and a master of none. And then as that went on, I started to want to do more, right? So I started to play and I started to get inspired by other artists and going, not only current artists, but artists from bygone eras, and started to go, okay, there's more to this. We can be creating a lot of beautiful things. And so once those things started to fall into place, I started to find my voice as an artist. And as my voice of an artist started to emerge, I started to attract the clients that were right for my business. And I want to help each of you achieve that same thing. And it doesn't matter to me if you're a photographer or if you're a painter or a sculptor, or you're not an artist at all, if you're just an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur trying to start any business, I want to help you find your voice and find your path to achieve success and to have the life that you want to live, because I can honestly tell you there's nothing better than waking up and getting to do what I want to do every single day and make a good living doing it. And I want those things for you as well. So what exactly do I mean by refined focus? For me, refined focus means cutting through all the noise and getting clear on your purpose, whether that is with your art or with your business or with your personal life, or finding that balance with work and personal life. Because if all of us just wanted to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week, we could just go get a job. There is a passion with this, but there's also being able to have the freedom to go and do the things that you want to do to get the most out of life. And so that is refining focus. And a lot of the reasons that a lot of creatives and entrepreneurs struggle with refining that focus is their self-comparison, comparing yourself to your peers, comparing yourself with what you see on social media, or family and friends going, oh, well, you know what you should be doing, or when are you going to get a real job, or just other people not having the belief in you. And man, I love proving those people wrong. And once you're able to find that self-belief, once you're able to find that spark in you that, yes, I can do this, this works, the entire game changes. You know, at times, some of the things I say may sound a little woo-woo, a little owl-huggy, but it's amazing that once you make the decisions and you decide that things are working, how things start to fall into place, how you start to see opportunities in different places, and how you start to feel about your work and what you're creating. It's truly exciting and very gratifying. And I'm excited to be with you on this journey. Part of the reason I want to be doing this, and I said this before, is those people were there for me when I was starting, when I didn't think it was possible. It is possible. So if I can be that voice, even if this only reaches one person and it helps one person go on to that next thing and feel better about their work and succeed, then all of this is going to be worth it. So here's what you can expect from this podcast over as many upcoming episodes as I decide to do and you decide to listen to. We're going to talk a lot about finding the balance between the art and the business. And that's if you are wanting to run your art as a business. If you are, and I'm finger quoting for those of you not watching, just an artist, then finding your voice in your art and being comfortable with it. Or if you are just an entrepreneur, more finger quotes, then it's going to be getting comfortable with taking risks and believing in yourself and betting on yourself. We're going to talk a lot about overcoming self-doubt. Self-doubt is one of the things that will stop art and will stop business and will stop joy in its tracks. So we're going to talk a lot about how to overcome that, things that I have found useful, and I will also be bringing in other people to talk about things that they found useful. We're going to talk a lot about finding inspiration in everyday life. It's really easy to take the world around us for granted. There's a lot of beauty and a lot of cool things that happen every single day. And finding those little moments, those little bits of joy, those little bits of gratitude can change your perspective, especially on those days when it's a little bit harder to push through. So we're going to find those things. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about how to market. We're going to talk about how to price yourself. We're going to talk about how to run a successful business. And again, I'll be bringing in other artists and entrepreneurs through these podcasts to talk about their way to do it as well, because I've certainly done it my way. That doesn't mean that my way is the only way or my way is going to work for you. I had multiple mentors coming up who ran very successful businesses, and I took value from them, but their business models don't fit how I want to run business, and that's okay. So we're gonna go through a lot of that. We're gonna talk a lot about self-value and getting past blocks. So if you don't value yourself, if you're not willing to gamble on yourself, then trying to put your art in front of people or put your business out in front of people is going to be more challenging. So we're going to work together on getting through some of those challenges and a whole lot of other stuff. We will also do, at times we'll do Ask Me Anythings. So you'll be able to, over the next couple of episodes, be able to put things in the comments on the show. If you have questions, you'll be able to ask those, and eventually we'll do, if it's depending on the topic, we may do an entire episode on that, or we may do episodes where I just answer questions or bring in other people to answer questions with me. All the way around, this is just going to be an exciting journey. I am looking forward to spending time with you, to building community with you, to helping as many of you as I can with my experiences, and really just helping some of you, all of you, as many of you as will listen, get your focus dialed in so that you can have the artistic life that you want, the business life that you want, the personal life that you want. I am excited to take this journey. So be sure to subscribe to this wherever you listen to podcasts. I will also be posting these videos on YouTube, and I will put the link to that below because I haven't set the channel up yet as of recording this, but that will be coming as well. Thank you so much. I look forward to going on this journey with you. Let's get to work.